Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but we also talk about how we're going to fix it together. The content that I'm going to hit tonight is going to make you raise an eyebrow at the very least, because the entire gun control apparatus, from the New York Attorney General Leticia James, to the concealed carry laws in New York, to the media across the board, they are all aligning and circling the wagons against the Supreme Court. They are afraid of something, and we're going to walk through it right now, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about it in the comments field below, because this one is one you're going to want to send out. Everything is always linked, as I mentioned, as I do in every single video, and if you are new or returning viewer, we would love to have you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and turn the notification bell on, because we need as many people as we can in the fold to pass the positive blessing of the Second Amendment along to the next generation. Thank you so much in advance for your consideration. The sponsor for tonight's content is STI, and then we are going to hit it. Now, I know a lot of you out there like to upgrade and modify your own guns. And if you're looking to turn a hobby into a career, Sonoran Desert Institute can help. Their online programs cover everything from gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and finishes, shooting, sports management, and more, plus all the tools and materials are shipped directly to your door. There's never been a better time to turn a hobby into a career, so what are you waiting for? There's a link in the description box below, and thank you again to SDI for making this content possible. But my brothers and sisters, this is one of those that you're going to want to send out. I have a funny feeling this is exactly what we're talking about here, because when the gun controllers and the media, they align in a common direction and they do it quickly, they circle the wagons and they put up their defenses, something's up. Something's got them scared. I'm going to start off with a few things and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to get to the underlying realm here of what's got them so scared. So this is the CNN article that came out yesterday. This is the first one. Supreme Court asked to step in on New York's concealed carry firearm law. Well, obviously the concealed carry firearm law is a point of great contention because they basically violated the entire Bruen decision. That's awkward since it was passed in June. They basically just said, it's not going to work out. Sorry, New York does what New York does. To the Supreme Court. Okay? That was yesterday. Well, look at what I saw in Slate magazine. I got a couple of these. Slate magazine, far left. The Supreme Court may kick off 2023 with a huge gun rights ruling. Without oral argument or full briefing, the case could take a hatchet to New York's new concealed carry law and countless more nationwide. Of course, not mentioning the fact the entire new concealed carry law is a dramatic insult to the Bruen decision and kind of thumbs their nose right in it. Anyway, let's get past that because, like I said, Slate's far left. Expect nothing less. But here's the Washington Examiner. Supreme Court asked to intervene in legal fight over New York gun law. Well, that was today, and so was Slate's. This afternoon, actually. Here's Washington Times. New York Attorney General asked Supreme Court to leave state gun rules in place. Now, when was the last time that you guys saw a New York Attorney General put an article out, a letter directly to the Supreme Court saying you were completely wrong in your decision, which I'm about to get into, and then the media immediately turn and defend them? Start ginning up a campaign against the Supreme Court and basically doing the whole don't do this or we'll make more mean articles about you thing. When was the last time you saw that happen? Right about the time the Bruen decision was coming down. But anyway, something's got them scared, and maybe we'll point to New York Attorney General Leticia James' comments to the Supreme Court. Check this out. It's from the original CNN article. New York Attorney General Leticia James asked the Supreme Court on Tuesday to allow a new state law that places restrictions on carrying a concealed firearm to stay in effect while legal challenges play out. Supreme Court, I know that we passed a law that completely invalidates your Bruen decision, completely offends it. And you know what? If you could just stay out of this and let the state level do it, that'd be great, because we still want our gun control. And after all, the Second Circuit Appellate Court did say it was okay. That's the whole crux of the problem. The Supreme Court is now being pulled into the fact that the Second Circuit Appellate Court screwed the pooch. That's the important piece here. If the Supreme Court comes in and smacks them around, they got to go back to the drawing board again. And we've got to relive the last 6 months of gun control infringements from New York, California, Illinois, and New York. This is crazy. Oh, and New Jersey. Don't forget that one. But here you go. The dispute is the first time the court has been asked on an emergency basis to consider a significant Second Amendment case since last summer's ruling that expanded gun rights nationwide. Okay, as we go through this, because I have a sneaky suspicion this is going to be a big deal. The Supreme Court did not expand gun rights nationwide. The Supreme Court curtailed gun control nationwide. You were infringing upon the rights of a sovereign citizen in the United States. You got smacked around, and then they turned it around and said, well, they expanded gun rights. No. False. An expansion of rights would be the original Roe v. Wade decision. Not trying to get into that, but that would be an expansion of rights. The curtailing of gun control, where you're doing a law that's infringing upon the population, that's curtailing. That's different. Anyway, let's keep going. But that's important to understand because as this continues, we're going to hear more of that. The justices are not considering the merits of the case, only whether to lift the appeal court order pending appeal. That's the one where they basically said the law can stay in place. That's the linchpin keeping their control in place. Quote, although it comes in an emergency application posture, the request represents the first chance for the justices to weigh in on how lower courts are applying the Bruen decision and its new doctrinal framework for Second Amendment cases, said Andrew Willinger of the Duke University School of Law. And that's it in a nutshell. If the Supreme Court basically banks and starts to go into the infringements upon not only the Second Amendment, but the Bruen decision, the game that the gun controllers have been playing for decades of infringe and it takes so long to actually get corrected, we'll just do it again then and we'll get gun control in perpetuity. That's the game they've been playing. This has taken 7 months. You see the problem for them? Because they can't do this forever. Anyway, let's keep going. And this last piece, this is where Leticia James really steps in it. In Tuesday's filing, James said the district court's opinion was riddled with errors and urged the justices to stay out of the dispute and let the appeals court ruling stand because she knows they have the appeals court in their pocket and the Supreme Court is not. It's important. She stressed that the appeals court had expedited consideration of the new law and that further percolation of the relevant issues in the lower court is needed to inform the Supreme Court's review. Please don't look over here, Dad. I didn't steal the cookies. Yeah, you did, brah. They are in so much trouble. If the Supreme Court comes down and you get 5 justices to say, what are you guys doing? Appellate court, you can't do that. That means the appellate appeal goes away and it goes back to Sotheby's ruling, invalidating and making unconstitutional the entire New York concealed carry law. That's 7 months of lawsuits, 7 months of rulemaking, and 7 months of infringement, which New York tried to do, not to mention all the catalyst of effect cascade effect that would cause in states like New Jersey, California, New York itself, Illinois, not to mention any other state that just put in more gun control measures. This is a big deal. Part of me kind of thinks Clarence Thomas is sitting there going, hey, boo, what up? That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.